Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for the robot neo-entrepreneur Polynian, and we have the third one, Yume. And can't wait for this one. Finally got her. Just got my Ami haul for the month of April, and this is really nice. So here's the box art. Doesn't say the name here, but I'm fairly sure her name is Yume. Where is the name? Oh, that's what they had online. Inside the box. Here we go. Got a variety of faces. We got the sword, we got the bag. I don't see the hand, or the hands are on the back there. Huh. So after Clover and Shamrock, this is the first one that has accessories, which I'm looking forward to getting. She even has panties. Wow. Anyways, that's it for the box. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so we have Clover and Yume here. Again, this is Clover here on the left, and we have Yume, the new figure. And it's kind of interesting that they first released the blanks. Usually you see that later on down the line for the particular figure line, where they release the blanks, like what they're doing now with Figure Arts and Figma. But yeah, quite interesting. And surprisingly, the price point is the same. And yeah, if you were to buy one, you would rather get this one, since she has a lot more accessories compared to Clover right here. But on the other hand, if the only way to get that particular head is to get Clover, and maybe certain parts of the body. But yeah, nonetheless, here's a quick comparison. And let's put this aside here. Now let's take a look at Yume. Alright, we have Yume here, and as always, you're gonna have this particular base. I think it's standard for all of them, right here. And certain parts already fall off. I do find that certain pieces here does tend to pop out from time to time. It's not a good peg system, or sometimes it's actually a bit difficult to put on. But this goes onto the side here. We'll go over it a little bit more. You do have a sword, which is mountable on the back. Take that out. And actually, let's continue on with the head here. And she is lovely. I like that the design on her. And actually, if you look closely along with Clover, they have the same eyes. And in some sense, you can just swap out the face. And actually, this does come with a couple of faces. We have the neutral here, smiling one. And you have two other, which you have the really happy one, and the one where she's shouting or angry. So you can swap this with Clover. But here we go. We'll do this face swap in a bit. I just went over that for now. And we have the ponytail here, which is on a joint. And this is actually a separate piece that goes in between, kind of like a collar. And actually, I had a hard time putting this on, this particular joint here. So if we were to take that out, yeah. You might want to get some, I use a long nose, which is thin enough, and just kind of get that wide, or you might want to use a small Phillips. Yeah, I wouldn't drill on it. You can, but yeah, there's just a difficulty putting this particular peg on. But once you get it out on, you'll be fine. So gonna just slide this in. There's a little tab there, which kind of prevents this from moving around. But yeah, quite nice. You can do quite a bit of different poses with this. And I like that the tie here. Get the clear pieces here, the pink. Really nice. Now onto the head here. In terms of articulation, you got that ball joint for the neck. And you may have to move it around. Actually, this piece does pop out. You can have a different hairstyle. Yeah, you could just take this out here. So you get a different style, or even just remove this. and you get a short hair. So it's quite nice that you can do a lot of actually, let's take this out. You can do a lot of things with this. Actually, let's do a face swap. It is a bit tricky. There is no instruction, but granted that they're all the same for most figures. It is split through here. There is 2 pegs in there, and I kind of want to show that. I had to actually pry this out though with a screwdriver. Kind of just stick it in there, wedge it in, and try to pry it out. Yeah, the first time you will have a little bit of difficulties, and some paint does smudge there from the inside part of this, which you could probably clean up, but it's in the inside. Should be fine. There we go. Another thing that you might want to consider is just popping out the whole neck off, because there's a lot of weight underneath and you just don't want to stress the joint. Alright, so let's put this one on here. Angry one. Just why not? And that is a bit of a tight fit. There we go. Put this back on. And what else we got here? So in terms of face swapping, it's not too bad. First time will be a little difficult. I forgot that piece goes here. Yeah, the first time will be difficult just trying to wedge that out. But once you get it there, you'll be fine. I think that's kind of like the same thing with the other figures. Alright, so here we go. Now moving on, you got the shoulder here. It's in that ball joint. And things that start to pop out. And I just popped this out too. Alright, so we're about at it. So this is a really nice, it's a little necktie. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's in clear pink. It does have some decals on front, which is quite nice. Just pegs in there. Getting back to the shoulder, yeah, you got this shoulder joint. It is a bit limited on because of how this shoulder is mounted. You got your, I don't think there's a bicep swivel, no. This piece here seems like it's molded in. You got that elbow joint there. And you got your wrist joint. This piece here does not move, I don't think. It's part of the molded in the forearm. You got your torso. You got that giant ball joint right there in the middle. And on to the waist, you actually can peg that out. And you have that weird, it's kind of weird that this one kind of goes a little further in, or it's closer to that peg. I guess it's to prevent it from putting in the wrong way, I guess. And you have this side skirt here, which can be mounted, or you can just remove it. And what else we got here? If you do wish to remove the skirt, you can. If you want to swap it out with Clover's or have this Clover wear this, you can do that. So to do that, you gotta remove, actually remove this waist joint here. This is held by this ribbon on the back. So you peg that out and you can take this off. Surprisingly for Yume, she has panties. And that's molded in. As opposed to Clover, where she's kind of like that plain. So Yumi's wearing this pink panties. And again, you can swap the bodies. And one thing I like that they even keep up with the consistency of that panel line. It's that purple color. So that's really great. And I just drop another, or the stand here. Anyways, let's put that away for now. Now getting back to this, you do have, actually we want to go back with that skirt. The skirt does hinder a little bit of articulation. Let's get this thing here. There we go. You can now stretch that far, and to move it forward, you gotta play around with this joint right here because it's in an angle, and if you want to move it up, you gotta turn the whole thing this way. So it's a different kind of a joint system, but it works. Just gotta play around with it. Now for the knee, I'm having a bit of a problem here. And the knee joint is a bit loose. Yeah, you can pop them out, and you can pretty much disassemble her if you need to, or for swapping parts. But this joint here is a bit loose. I think the lock here, you can actually separate this. If you just wedge it out and you kind of see that little gap there, keep going, you can pop this out. I tried to put a bit of floor polish there just to kind of tighten the joint, but it does tend to loosen up. So I'll still figure out a way. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, with gravity, it still can hold it, but it feels a little bit loose than what I had with Clover. Then you have your ankle joint here. Quite nice. It is a bit restricted by this whole thing, which is, I believe, bolted in. So there you go. And I think that's pretty much it for articulation. Alright, so let's go over the other accessories, which are the hands. Alright, so next part is you get a variety of hands here. We got the closed fist, which we got from Clover as well as the open hand here. And I wish there was a way for her to hold hands. Well, we're still referring to Clover. And they finally gave you this particular hands, which is great. So let's start with this right here. We'll just pop it out. And, oh, okay. I was hoping that wrist will stay there because of this, but it turns out this is fixed. I kind of wish there is a joint for that, but I guess not. Well, that might be a good thing and also a bad thing. Kind of wish you can move that out, but oh well. And yeah, unfortunately this figure does tend to pop out quite often. Right, so for the hand you do need to have this joint here, and you kind of want to just play around with that joint. And I'll put this on. It's always a problem when you put it on the first time. So do take your time getting that on. I guess it's twisting it might help too. Let me do that off camera. Also, one thing I've noticed on this particular hand, the thumb is quite short. It's really small compared to, you know, the other pair of hands. And even comparing this with Clover's right here. Oh. Actually, this one's the same, but this one's a little short. It's just me. It's a bit odd. Alright, so putting this here. There we go. And we do have the sword here. The sword is quite nice. Has some details to it. You got that orange, I guess that's supposedly the beam. There's no other moving parts. I mean, it does have a peg connection. As we can see here, we have it for here and a peg there. And there's more than likely this will just slide in, hopefully. And gotta wiggle that out, and there we go. Have her in a certain pose. Quite nice. And now let's put this back on. Something tells me that will keep popping out. Yeah, really cool. And I think, let's see. I'm always curious, and there it goes again. Yeah, I don't think she can reach this from the back. Or maybe this way. Alright, maybe this way she can reach it from the back and grab it that way, but it's a little weird. Anyways, there you go. That's it for the sword. I mean, you can probably do a lot of cool poses. You probably just take a little bit of patience for her, since, as you can see here, as much as I like the figure, a lot of things just keep popping out. And there's one more accessory, which is this one, the bag. Alright, this is really bugging me. There's always something with the reviews. Alright, so, okay, you know what? The way to fix this, or one of the ways I normally fix this, I'm gonna go with what I used to do before. I used the floor polish, and let me demonstrate that. So just look closely and see where it goes. So the top part is connected to here. So you go this way, and that part should pop out. Keep going, and once you have a little bit of a better gap, I already put some floor polish there, that's why it's kind of squeaky. There we go. Grab your flat. The smaller the better, probably, but whatever you have. She does not work. I have this one. Let's go with this. Push that in there. There we go. Alright, so try to get a little bit of gap. Once you get a little bit of gap, and be careful, you don't want to damage the joint. There is a possibility for that too. There we go. So you can wedge that in, kind of pry it out a little bit. Take your time. There we go. And we just want to pop this top out. If you're curious what's inside, that's basically it. And I kind of coated it with that floor polish, which is not working at the moment. It's possibly because it's not dry yet. But, oh well. But there is another way to do this, which I'm going to demonstrate now, is to get a bit of a piece of paper towel or tissue paper. And what you want to do is just put it right there in the middle. What I'm trying to do is tighten this lock. This kind of holds everything together. So just push that in. There we go. And maybe but that should be fine. Push all the way in. And I think that's it. That should hold the top part, or that little peg, in much better. And now it should be a little tighter now. The problem is when that thing slides out, it gets loose, and that's what I've been having. So at least I can fix a few of this loose joints here, or things that pops out. Yeah. Alright, so now that's a little bit more sturdier, and that's one way to fix it. Just put a little bit of a piece of tissue paper. I wouldn't put paper because it doesn't well, maybe you can, you may want to crumple a little bit more, get that flexibility on the paper, but there you go. And that part that keeps popping off too. While we're at it, so what I would normally do with this is add a little bit of blue tack right there. Hopefully it will stay. Just a little bit. You can always remove the blue tack, and there we go. And that should give it a little bit more. The problem is when you slightly just tap this whole thing just pop off, and you just need a little bit of that adhesion for it to stay. And again, you can always remove this, and you can always remove that blue tack. So there you go. Learn 2 new things if you haven't already. There's always a way to fix figures. No. Most part. Anyways, getting back to the review. So, well, we have the backpack here, or a school bag, actually, not a bag, but actually you can turn it into a backpack. If you slide this out, it actually goes in quite nicely. There is a peg on the back, and it goes here. Now you have a backpack right there. So that is quite nice. Should always press it there, but there we go. So yeah, quite nice. You got that backpack right there. Definitely cool. And also, if you want to go crazy, you can put the sword in there as well. It's a little odd looking, but yeah, there is that peg there on the back of the sword, or on the guard of the sword. So you do have that option. And actually, let's see here. I think you can even put the sword on the side. It's a bit odd. Usually you kind of want it a little bit lower. Kind of wish there is a peg connection here. I mean, you got that little one there, but I don't think that is a peg connection. And that pretty much concludes the review for Polynian Yume. Really great figure. I did run into a couple of problems which I've demonstrated in this review. Again, just to do a recap, you need to kind of widen the peg holes, especially for the ponytail here. Let's just kind of lean there. For the ponytail there, and as well as the skirt here, I've had a problem putting that on the first time. So you might want to widen those joints just a little bit, not too wide, else it'll be loose. And I have a problem with loose knee joint. That particular one, I didn't have this problem with Clover. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I've demonstrated on how to fix that. Best way is just grab a little piece of paper towel or napkin and just put it there, and that basically tighten that center joint or the center peg which holds everything together, and that should fix that loose joint right there. Otherwise, had a little problem with the necktie right there, blue tack. And just the way it was designed, every time you push here, you tend to pop that off. So you always push on top of her chest, like here, or hold it right there. And that should hold it, hopefully. Anyways, this is a really great figure. Highly recommend getting it if you can. It's sold out pretty much everywhere I checked, unfortunately. But there are a couple more coming in, or in terms of their release. So you might want to jump on those before it's too late. And again, really great. Comes with a variety of different facial expression. We finally get the hands to hold the accessories, like her book bag right here, or school bag, as well as the sword. Really nice, just overall, and highly recommended. Anyways, that's about it for this review. I got mine from Ami, and that's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.